I'd like to welcome both Frances Morales Neufeld and Daniela Velázquez. They will be correspondents of En Breve, assigned to help cover some of the events and happenings in our community. And Frances, how are you? The Puerto Rican hug, right? I like that. I like that. This is made for television. Yes. Frances, you have an intensive background in journalism. Tell me more about you.
Well, I'm a Connecticut-Rican.
Connecticut-Rican.
Puerto Rican from Connecticut by way of Riopedre.
Oh, by way of Riopedre.
Yes.
I can see that guagua going from Santurce to Rio.
Yes, I came through the guagua.
Yeah. Okay, internal joke. Anyway.
So yeah, my background is in journalism, and I spent the first half of my career working for several newspapers in Connecticut, as well as working at Telemundo. So for me, being a part of the community, covering, telling stories, it's a huge passion of mine. And, I just want to say, if I can, to our viewers that whether you identify as Hispanic, Latino, or if you like to date Latinas, you have a home here at En Breve.
Or date Latinos for that matter.
Or, yeah.
Yes.
Equal opportunity here.
There you go. That's what we like. Well, I can't wait to hear some stories or see some stories from you.
I'm so excited.
I know there's a lot to tell.
Yes.
So thank you. And Daniela, tell me a little bit about you and welcome.
Well, I'm a Missourican.
A Missouri-Rican.
Or Missouri, Kenya in Espanol.
Okay, so that's a Puerto Rican from Missouri.
Yes, born and raised. St. Louis is my hometown, grew up here.
So how do you deal with rice and beans and toasted raviolis? You combine them both?
It's like tostones and toasted raviolis.
Tostones and toasted raviolis.
That's
I'm going to try
and
that.
Fattening.
Story
right?
of my life. Well,
at the same
and that
time.
too.
Anyway, so tell me a little bit about you.
So right now I'm the Director of Communications at the ACLU of Missouri. That's the American Civil Liberties Union, and our mission is to defend the Constitution. And before that, I worked as a reporter in Oregon and in Tallahassee and Tampa, Florida. So the common thread is really my passion is telling stories and helping people understand what's happening in the world and trying to do my little part to make the world a better place.
And I think that we got a lot of stories that we're going to be sharing to our audience about the Latino community and how much we are contributing to make St. Louis a better place for everyone, right?
Exactly. And I'm very excited to be able to do this and be here.
Well, I'm looking forward to see some of your stories as well. So thank you for being here. We're going to be right back with Jorge Riopedre after this short break.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back. Recently, we visited with Jorge Riopedre, who is the president of Casa de Salud. And in case you are not familiar, Casa is located in the intersection of Compton and Choteau here in St. Louis. Casa provides health services to our new American communities and also serves as a cultural bridge for migrants seeking to assimilate and become members of our community. Jorge and I discussed the issues now faced by refugees and why it is necessary for our communities to embrace and welcome immigrants to St. Louis. Let's take a look. So Jorge, welcome to En Breve, and I'm so happy that you're here today with us, talking a little bit about Casa de Salud.
Thank you, Gilberto. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, give me a brief history of Casa de Salud and why is it so important to have services such as the ones that Casa de Salud offer?
Sure. Casa de Salud, we're in our 8th year now. We are providing health care for anyone who's uninsured, although with a focus on immigrants and refugees. We provide basic health care at the clinic at Choteau and Compton, and then a group of case managers works with people who need care for the specialty care to connect them to that. It's incredibly important because, as we all know, immigrants and refugees make up a vital part of any thriving metropolis. They are good for the economy. They are good for the vibrancy and diversity of the region. So if we want to be a great St. Louis, then immigrants and refugees are essential. And if we want immigrants and refugees to come and stay in St. Louis, we have to give them health care.
Yeah, and that is so important. And you're getting ready to expand, or at least that's the plan.
I certainly hope so. We recognize that there is an enormous need for mental health services for immigrants and refugees. So many of them have experienced trauma and violence on their journeys to the United States, which unfortunately results in behavioral health problems. And so we're trying very hard now to expand our services into the adjacent building to where we are right now, so that we can specifically offer, with our partners, offer mental health services for these immigrants and refugees.
That is so compelling. How are you dealing with the current situation with immigration and the new administration?
You know, we provide health care. We're not politicians. So what we are doing is we are telling the communities that we are serving, we remain here for you. We remain a trusted and safe location where you can come to and get the services you need. What will shake out politically, I don't think that anyone really knows what's going to happen. So right now we are simply trying to make sure that we know what our rights are, what the rights of our patients are, so that we can comply with the law, but also defend the rights of our patients. And besides that, we're just providing health care.
What's the biggest misconception that you think the non-Hispanic and non-New American communities have about, those particular communities, the Hispanics and the New Americans?
I think without a doubt, from when I talk to people who are not well versed in these issues, is the idea that immigrants and refugees are takers. That's the word, is that they're takers. And that is so far from the truth as to be incredible, right? In fact, today, and just using Germany as a quick example, Germany, which has had this huge influx of immigrants, 44% of all new businesses being started in Germany are by immigrants. So think about that in this country where we have such more dynamic of an economy, where we can really give people an opportunity to start their own businesses, to really make a great economic contribution. That's what immigrants and refugees do. They are the farthest thing from takers that you can imagine.
And have you seen here in St. Louis some examples that you can give us about the dynamic structure of that new American community, what they're doing as entrepreneurs and things?
Well, absolutely. I mean, just look down South Grand, look in Cherokee, look in Overland, look at the businesses that have started up that are really providing vitality in the same way that the Bosnians did when they came to St. Louis and were resettled as refugees. That process continues. The problem with St. Louis is that we are not allowing that process to progress fast enough. Look at Nashville, Tennessee, 350% growth in the Hispanic population, and look how it has blossomed economically. Wow. We're doing the same thing in St. Louis, but at a much smaller rate, and we need to get on our horse here and really make it more welcoming for immigrants and refugees to come to St. Louis.
And talking about that horse, you are a member of the New American Alliance, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what that particular organization is all about.
So the New American Alliance, I want to make clear, is not a new organization. It's an umbrella, because we don't need yet another nonprofit organization. Mm-hmm. So it's CASA, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Asian Chamber of Commerce, the Mosaic Project, and the International Institute, all together saying, we're not just going to serve Hispanics or Asians or what have you. We're going to work together to pool our resources and pool our abilities and say, we're going to be here for immigrants and refugees of any ethnicity, of any color, of any religion. And so we're working together to try and do the best we can to, when an immigrant or a refugee needs services, that we not just say, well, you can go get health care at Casa Salud. We're going to say, together, we're going to tell you, you can go get job training at the International Institute, you can get health care at Casa, you can get a resume building over at the Asian Chamber of Commerce. We're really working hard to be welcoming to all.
And all the refugees that are coming in to St. Louis, I mean, that's still happening, right?
So it's still happening, but because of the issues and actions taken at the federal level, that number has been drastically reduced. Okay. What that number is going to be, we're not sure. It depends a lot on what shakes out in the next few weeks via the federal legislation and bills and executive orders that are being tossed around. We're going to have to play a waiting game to see about that.
But in the meantime, you're preparing yourself for future growth, meaning with the expansion, and you're doing several events and things like that. Tell me about what you're doing.
We have to position ourselves for growth, because if we just go, well, we give up, that's not taking us anywhere. That is excellent. And then, of course, on May the 6th, it is our Gran Festival, our Soca Loco. It's our gala where we transform a ballroom into a Latin town square with musicians and artists and performers and food, all being thrown together in just a tremendous celebration. And then we have a formal sit-down dinner where we give awards to people who have really been instrumental for helping immigrants and refugees with health here in St. Louis.
That is so awesome. I remember going to Soca Loco, and I had a great time there.
Thank you.
The food is excellent. The party is excellent.
And then at the end, it's the after party with salsa music.
And then, okay. And if somebody, and I know that we're going to have that information, but if somebody wants to contribute, they want to be a volunteer, is that easy to do?
Yeah, so go to the website that you can get all the information there, casadesaludstl.org. And that will take you to everywhere you want to go.
Well, listen, good luck. Congratulations. I probably have to do some salsa dancing at Soca Loco and maybe drink some German beer at Irvin Chestnut.
Thank you, Gilberto. I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate you being here today, and good luck. Our correspondent, Frances Morales Neufeld, recently visited with Cecilia Nadal of Gitana Productions to talk about the importance of hugs.
For many people frustrated by the White House's recent executive orders on immigration and the Muslim ban, demonstrations have become a weekly thing to do. These days, we could all use a hug.
I think it just goes to show you how divisive the Trump presidency has been so far.
Yes. Yeah, it is very scary, but things like this feel positive and a way to manifest all that fear into something positive.
So to offer comfort, Nadal of Gitana Productions recently organized a hugs rally and handed out more than 700 hugs on South Grand Boulevard. Tell me a little bit about this Huggin' rally.
Well, Huggins have been going on since 2004, all over the world, in Shanghai, in Europe, in 12 to 15 cities in the United States. And basically, each Hug-In has a different slant. Most of the work that's been done has been just really acts of kindness, where people go out and spontaneously hug someone else just to say, I care about you because you're part of our community.
And it's just a simple message of engaging our community, which is diverse in what we love. So we just want to spread love and not hate.
So how do you counteract the negative with the positive? A simple hug. This is Fran with STL TV.
Wow, a lot of hugging going on. And Frances, in brief, tell me a little bit about what's your takeaway from your interview with Cecilia.
Well, you know, Cecilia told me that a lot of people are afraid about the racial profiling, especially in this political climate. And this comes right after the new administration, President Trump, has said that he wants to use the National Guard to round up undocumented immigrants.
Unbelievable.
Now, imagine the level of anxiety that people have, especially about the uncertainty of their futures and where this country is going. But what I find so fascinating is that people like Cecilia are really using collective action to counteract the negative with the positive.
Very good.
And they're using love and hugs. So I could really use one right now.
Okay, come on. Let me give you a huggy. Ah, that felt good. Thank you so much for that great interview.
Thank you.
And I know that we got more coming from you.
Yes.
So once again, thank you for staying with us right here and tuning in to En Breve. And we will see you on the next one.
Hasta la próxima.
Hasta la próxima.